All righty. Good morning. Coming down to our mats, a cushion, blanket, something to lift your hips if you have something close by. You can settle in. Maybe this morning, if you naturally sit in one cross-legged position, you could switch it up. Always good to try to balance things out once in a while, switching which way you cross your legs. And maybe we'll start to close the eyes or just soften the gaze. Let go of whatever we were doing before we rolled out our mats this morning. Letting go of anything we need to do after practice today. So just tuning in to the breath. Tuning in to how the breath is feeling this morning. Tuning into the body, how the body is feeling today. Just trying to stay for a few more moments, just present and with the breath. Following the breath into the belly. And back out. So to start this morning, we're gonna take 2 fingers, middle finger and pointer finger to the chin. And we're just gonna press it back like we're tucking the chin. And we're just gonna do this a few times. Noticing how as we draw the chin in, we lengthen through the back of the neck, through the base of the skull. So by bringing awareness to this stretch by using the fingers, you're just pushing your chin right back. Just notice how we not only find a better posture here, but the chest opens a little bit. You get a nice stretch to the back of the neck. So this is something you could do if you find like you're slouching a lot. Maybe you're starting to feel a little rounded through the shoulders. This is just a little practice you can just do anywhere to get that stretch and find that nice tall lengthening through the spine. And then you can release the hands and we'll just go through the head and neck now. Chin across chest. Back of the head, just rolling along the shoulders. And then changing directions whenever you're ready. And then coming all the way back through center. We're gonna open up through the arms, through the chest, through the heart, and then we're just gonna close back in. So feel a little rounding in the upper body, a little drop of the head, and then we open back up, we lift the heart. And then rounding as we bring the arms back forward. So just try this little flow. Make it your own. Drop the chin, round the upper back, and then opening up, lifting the heart. We're working through that upper body, shoulders. And again, working to lengthen and correct the posture. Good. And then we'll finish off. Release and relax the arms, maybe roll the shoulders up and back. And then change directions. You could roll the shoulders the other way. Awesome. Hands just resting back down. And we'll take it into our soupy grind. Nice big circles. Nice hip release here. Changing directions. And then coming all the way back through center when you're ready. You can release the feet and the hands in behind you. Windshield wiper out the legs. And then we'll just move into our twist, dropping the knees to one side, head the other way. If you want more here, bring that bottom foot onto the thigh. Switching sides when you're ready. Turning the head away. Bottom foot maybe comes up on top of the thigh. Beautiful. Coming back through center, again, stretch the legs out and dive right forward. Legs can stay engaged here, toes pointing to the ceiling, but keep the shoulders relaxed. Notice on your exhale here if you can drop a little deeper into your fold. Then coming back up, we'll slide right into cobbler's pose. We're gonna work the inner thighs today. I keep saying this morning, but I know lots are just gonna watch it anytime. So it could be day or night. So I'm trying not to say this morning anymore. But anyway, we're gonna work the inner thighs. So we're gonna move them really slow. So we're using the control of the muscles, the control of the legs to work the muscles. And then we'll take a stretch. So we'll bring the elbows to the thighs and we'll just relax through the upper body. And grab hold of the shins and lift the heart. Maybe shift the gaze up to the ceiling. Good. And then send the right leg off to the side. Open it up nice and wide. Tuck in that left. Take a nice slide down that right leg. Beautiful. Keep the leg position, but bring the left arm in behind and just point the toe on that right foot. And then we're going to lift up. So lifting the hips as we stretch and reach over. You look up to that hand. And sweep that arm down as you release back down to your mat. And then we'll switch the other side. And stretch down towards the foot, ankle, shin, wherever you land. Same thing here. We'll just point the foot forward, bring the right hand in behind, and sweep all the way up. And then sweep all the way back down. Stop. We'll draw that leg in and let's come to our hands and knees. Come into our table. And stack the wrists and shoulders, stack the knees and your hips. Cat cow. Morning. We've added the feet in before, so if you want to add the feet, you can. So that's toes curled for one of the postures and then feet flat for the other. Just switching back and forth. And let's end off with toes curled under so that we can walk back into our yogi squat. Hands can stay in front. And then just rocking through the knees. And then from here, let's walk all the way back out, right into plank. So draw the belly button up and in. Nice flat back. Gaze down to the mat. If it's too much in plank, maybe half plank, and we drop the knees and cross the ankles. And then from your plank or half plank, we're going to lower onto the belly, all the way down. We're going to draw the arms up into Sphinx. So elbows under the shoulders, hands nice and spread, fingers nice and spread on the mat. And then we're going to press up into Sphinx pose. Taking a couple breaths here. We're gonna look over one shoulder, come back through center, look over the other shoulder, and come back through center. And then from here, we're gonna slide back into child's pose. Your favorite version. And breathing into the low back. And connecting with the breath here. Beautiful. Let's take the hands to the left side, right hand coming on top. Draw back through that right hip. And walk the hands to the other side. Bring the left hand on top and draw back through the left hip. Good stuff. We'll come back through center and then back to table. And this morning we're gonna, or today, not this morning, we're gonna work on lizard. We're gonna do some lizard variations. So to start, I'm gonna take both hands just slightly over to the right side of my mat. So instead of stacking, just gonna keep them a little closer together. And I'm gonna start on the left leg because it's closer to the camera. So I'm gonna lift that left leg and draw the foot up. So it's outside of the hands are together. I'm gonna look up, maybe to the top of my mat. So I'm not creasing or crunching, if that's a word, crunching the back of my neck too much. You just wanna gaze up to the front of your mat. And this may be as far as you're going today, and that's okay. Or if you wanna go a little further, you're curling the toes on that right leg and lifting the knee. And then sinking down in the hips. So I should have my socks off here because I'm starting to slide a little bit. So make sure you're in your bare feet if you're moving this deep into the stretch. Still gaze goes to the top of your mat. And then when you're ready, you're gonna drop that knee. I'm gonna frame that left foot again so that I can walk back into my runner's lunge, runner stretch. I'm gonna walk the hands up, try to release, imagining I'm bringing my chest all the way to the thigh. Breathing into the back of the leg. Walking the hands back up. I'm gonna keep the knee dropped this time. To start anyway, we're gonna keep the knee dropped. And we're gonna come into a twist in this shape. So left hand's gonna open up. And again, if you do wanna go a little further and you're not in your socks, be safe, be in your bare feet. Lift that back knee and find the full expression. And then we're just coming all the way back down, dropping the knee, sliding that foot all the way back. And let's take a little child's pose to take the weight off the wrists. And I will take my socks off to practice what I preach while we're taking that little child's pose break. If you're in child's pose and a little rock through the hips and low back feels good, you can do that. And then we'll come up onto the elbows and we're going to circle through the wrists, moving in both directions. And then we're going to flick the fingers out. And then we're going to come back up so we can catch that little lizard flow on the other side. So we'll take the hands to the left side of the mat this time. We'll draw up the right leg, right foot, so it's on the outside of the hands. So here's our first shape. We're looking up to the top of the yoga mat, or we're lifting that back knee, lengthening through that left leg. Breathing into the hip. And then we're dropping the knee. We're going to frame the foot. The right hand comes to the other side. And we'll take it back to that runner's stretch. Maybe walking the hands and folding a little deeper. Breathing into the back of the leg. And then walking back up. So moving into the twist from here, I'm going to draw the right arm, right hand up to the ceiling. And then either the knee stays down or we lift it. Drawing that hand back down when you're ready. Dropping the knee when you're ready. Sliding the foot back to join the other. Restacking the wrists under the shoulders. And we're just going to take a little side cow. We'll rock one side, the other. Beautiful. Back through center. Curl the toes under if they're not already curled. Walking back to your squat. Maybe waddling out the legs. Or if you're wanting a little change here, then maybe we're starting to take the hands off the mat and come into the full expression of your yogi squat. And it may be that you're on the balls of your toes, or it may be that you drop the seat and drop down to your heels. Or you may stay in that waddling shape, and that may be what's best for you. Wherever you are, just breathe into the hips. Maybe turn and work through the wrists again. Your hands are free. Bring them back down, start to walk it back out. Find your version of plank. Draw the belly button up and in. Fight the gravity as we work the core. Drop the knees. Drop the belly. Bring the hands under the shoulders this time and bring the forehead to the mat. And when you're ready, we're going to lift the head and chest and arms off the mat, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So it's going to look like so, lifting and squeezing the shoulder blades. We're just hovering above the mat, just the upper body. And then we're going to bring the hands in front, a little pillow, bend the knees, and just sway the legs, crisscross the ankles. Good. And release the legs back down. Draw the hands back under the shoulders, forehead on the mat. And then when you're ready, squeeze and lift. Shoulder blades draw together. Hovering above the mat. Beautiful. Release the hands back down. Curl the toes under. Press up. Find a plank or half plank. Take a couple breaths. Draw your belly in. And then drop your knees. Big toes together. Shift back. Child's pose. I'm going to flip my palms up in this version of child's pose. Just to switch it up. And still breathing into that low back. When you're ready, come all the way up. Find your kneeling feet here. Take a couple breaths here. Bring the palms of the hands together and release the fingers. Draw the arms out. We'll drop the chin. And then draw the hands in right under the chin. Draw the head back. And release the chin back down. Hands come behind the head. And just allow the weight of the arms. Increase that stretch into the shoulders, back of the head. Good stuff. Coming all the way back up. We're just going to dip the left elbow, lengthening through the right. Coming back through center. Dip the right elbow, lengthening through the left. Center. And then release the arms. Slide off the ankles, spin the legs around, recenter yourself on your mat. Grab a drink if you have a drink close by. And you can stretch the legs out straight. Point the toes, the feet up to the ceiling. Draw the chest up. Engage the core. Staff pose as the palms come to either side. Hanging out here for a couple breaths, nice and strong. And then inhaling the arms up and taking the stretch up and over to our fold. Relax the shoulders. And then start to roll yourself back up. And we're going to do that swimming stretch. We've done it before. So we're going to reach back with the right hand and cross it all the way to the opposite leg. And as that hand slides up the outside, we'll start to swim the left. We'll start to find a little rhythm of your own. Big front stroke type stretch. And you can just slide the hand up the outside of the leg. Close the eyes once you get into your own rhythm. And then maybe explore finishing your swimming exercise with the arms crossed, the head dropped. The arms are kind of crossed, reaching for opposite legs. And then as you draw them up, start to roll the head, neck, spine out until you come all the way back up. And then let's point the toes forward. Find our mudra with the hands. Sitting up tall, drawing the belly in. And then starting to roll down with control. And sending the arms all the way overhead. And enjoying that full body stretch. And then we will inhale and bring the right leg in, lace the fingers around the shin, squeeze that knee in towards the shoulder. And inhale, we'll send everything long again, pointing the toes, reaching overhead. And when you're ready, drawing in the other side. Keep the feet engaged, keep the toes pointing to the ceiling as you squeeze that left leg in. And then inhale, lengthen, point the toes. Good stuff. Bring both knees in and bring the hands to the top of the knees. We're going to separate the knees to start some hip circles and then drawing them back together. This is another good hip release, good for releasing any stored emotions in our hips. And change your directions when you're ready. Still circling through. Good stuff. Draw them back together. Drop the feet back down to your mat. Heel toe the feet wide. Let the knees rest as they collapse inwards. Bring the arms in front of the chest. We'll link elbows. And then we'll draw the arms back and forth across the heart. And we'll bring the arms back through center. Just release them down, perhaps to the belly. We'll heel toe the feet back under the knees. And maybe take a little windshield wiper here. And bringing the legs back to center when you're ready. And allowing the legs to stretch out. And releasing the hands to your sides, the arms to your sides. Maybe closing the eyes. Maybe even before that, we add our socks back on, a sweater, a blanket, maybe some music. And drifting into some stillness. Looking in the benefits of your practice today. Allowing the body to melt into the mat. So wherever you're still holding, low back, shoulders, jaw, fingers, release. Let everything sink into your mat and into the ground beneath that. Shelf any to-do lists, any fears, any worries. For the next few minutes, just allow yourself to be and allow your breath to come and go as it pleases. So as our time together draws to a close, I bring my palms together at heart center. And I say to each of you, may you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you be whole. Namaste, everyone. Wishing you and your families a beautiful long weekend. Beautiful Easter if you celebrate. And we'll see everybody next week. Enjoy that sun. Take care.